I promised you something that if you have questions, but I see that there's only about 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Can we have 10 minutes? The mu'adhin will give me another 5 minutes. All right, brothers and sisters, part of me was deliberate in trying to not give you too much time for questions, because some questions could put me in trouble with Ramadan, I know that. Go ahead, brothers and sisters, if you have any questions about fasting Ramadan. Nuh, yes. You shifty. He goes to me, when's Ramadan? Wallahi, I don't know. It's either Sunday or Monday, I think. Yes.
Loved one. Have left a loved one. Before I serve them more frequently.
Brother is asking, how do you motivate someone who you love to go to the mosque and pray and do good deeds in Ramadan? Akhi, all you are is a reminder. Just mention it to them. And that's it. Then you go and let them watch you. That's all. Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was like that. Lasta alayhim bimusaytir. You cannot force it upon them. Innama anta nadir. You are a warner and a reminder. That's all, akhi. Remind them, but with kindness and goodness. And with a smile. And don't pressure them too much. Khalas. And then you look after yourself, inshallah. You never know what happens around you just by observing you. Yes, brother. And yeah. Na'am? Intention. Yeah, look, there are some things I left out because everyone knows them already. So, brother is asking about the intention. The intention for fasting Ramadan is part of the pillar of it being accepted. And it's a good question. Some people misunderstand this. They think that they have to make the intention every night for the next following day. And that if you don't make the intention, then you can't fast. No. The intention is done the night before Ramadan. So you make the intention. How do you make the intention? By having the intention. There's nothing specific you have to say. There's no particular thought process you have to go through. It's just that you already believe in Ramadan. You intend to fast Ramadan. In fact, the moment you heard about Ramadan, you already have the intention. So all of us right now already have that intention. The only thing is that we have to maintain that intention until the night of Ramadan. Just maintain it. So that means not having the intention is almost impossible. You'd have to leave Islam, or you'd have to secretly say, I don't even want to fast. But otherwise, we all have the intention already. Maintain it until the night before, and that's it. That's for the whole month. You have the intention. You don't have to every night do some ritual. So that's easy. But let's say that you had the intention and you found out the next day that it was not Ramadan. Let's say somehow it was proven to you nobody sighted the crescent. Then you break your fast and you intend for the next day. What if you did not intend because nobody saw the crescent, and you happened to sleep early because you had work the next day or something? The next day you find out everybody's fasting, but you did not make the intention. What's the answer to that? Fast or not fast? Fast. You fast. Why? Because your intention was, if it is Ramadan, I'm fasting. And the moment you say the Shahada, you already believe in Ramadan. So you did not deliberately not make the intention. You made that intention because of not fasting, because you thought it wasn't Ramadan. But if it is, you continue fasting. There is a very minor view of some scholars, minor, but it's not the majority, and it doesn't have much evidence. It says that fast the day, but make it up just in case. I say to you, Islam is easy, and the majority of the scholars said no. You just continue to fast it so long as you haven't eaten anything in the morning. Otherwise, if you hadn't made the intention because you thought it was a Ramadan, and then you find that it was Ramadan, but you had eaten, then it's better to make up that day, but you have to continue fasting. And yes.
So very little thing.
If somebody, that's a good question. If somebody deliberately goes out of their way during Ramadan to travel 80 kilometers or above just to break their fast, that's a sin. That's haram. Because you're trying to beat the system and trying to trick Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah la yujarrab. Allah is not tried. Listen, here is a rule that you can remember. A rule that scholars told us. Man hajja liya'khudh لم يجز ومن أخذ ليحج جاز. The principle is, if you do Hajj because you want to make a profit out of it, it's sinful. But if you took money in order to do Hajj, then it's permissible. Same. If I went on a travel 90 k's in order to break my fast, it's haram. But if I went on a travel because I have to, then I have the exemption of breaking my fast. So it comes down to your intention. No.
In that case, would it be better to fast or not fast? It's applicants.
If you intended to go on a travel just to break your fast, yeah. Okay, so if you're actually traveling with the right intention, is it better to break your fast or keep fasting? Well, that's a difference of opinion among the scholars. No, we can't say because you don't feel tired or whatever. That's all up to you, really. We follow text, ya akhi. We follow what the Quran and Sunnah says. Now, if you don't feel tired, a person can be on travel, not feel tired at all, but still got the exemption, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَنْ كَانَ مِنْكُمْ مَرِيضًا أَوْ عَلَى سَفَرٍ. Some people think that, it's actually a good question. Some people do think, they say, well, you know, we travel now in beautiful aeroplanes, we sit in a 5-star hotel, why should you break your fast? No. That's not what the Quran said. The Quran said, whoever is on travel or is sick, فَعِدَّةٌ مِنْ أَيَّامٍ أُخَرٍ, other days. Why do we have to restrict it and make it hard? Allah said so. There's nothing. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam went on travel and sometimes he was at ease and he broke his fast. It was not a problem at all. So Islam is yusr, it's easy. But if you went on travel to 80 or 90 k's, is it better to break your fast? Well, in the Hanbali school, which I've studied, and the evidence that they say, Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Inna Allah yuhibbu," and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves that his concessions be taken. So in their opinion, based on this hadith, they say, well, if Allah has given you a concession, use the concession. But then the others, they said, no, if there's no real need, then better not to take the concession. The bottom line is, it's up to you. The bottom line is up to you, yeah, without getting too technical. The fidya, good question. So let's say somebody is terminally ill or chronically ill or old and too weak to fast. You've got diabetes where you need your insulin. You've got a condition where you have to take medication or you're too weak. Then what do you do about that? You cannot make up those days because you don't know when you're going to be better. Instead, you have to pay a fidya. فَفِدْيَةٌ طَعَامُ مِسْكِينٍ. Then you just feed one needy or poor person per day. So 29 days or 30 days that we're fasting, that person just sends their wealth, their money, through a charity organization to people to feed a poor person for each day. That's it. And the amount of money you send, so the idea is to feed. So if you're living, say, in Lebanon, where I'm from, and you have poor people living around you, you can invite them or you can send food to them for a meal and you don't have to pay anything. But if you're living in Australia and you want to get the meal to someone who is in need, you can pay through a charity organization, depending on what one meal costs at the place that you're sending it. If I send it to, say, I don't know how much it is in Malaysia. What is a common meal in Malaysia? Ya Haji? You're from Singapore. In Singapore, what's the common meal in Singapore? $10. So I send $10. What's a common meal in Australia? A nice good meal. We're not talking about 5-star hotel restaurants. $30. We're talking about It's talking about a wagyu steak. $30. Fellas, if that's what you eat here at $30 your meal, God help your wife. Well, she's very lucky. You're going to buy her a whole big meal, inshallah. Then it's $30 if that's what you eat of a meal. But a common meal here in Australia to feed a person a kebab sandwich would be what? 20? $20. $20 per day. So depending on the livelihood of people. Well, I feel bad that the sisters couldn't ask questions. I'm very sorry. I don't know how we're going to do it. Maybe you can throw papers across. تفضل حبيبي.
Children, and that's such a better night on the other. The odd nights of philosophy. Now, many people believe that has the 27th.
Okay, brother is asking about Laylatul Qadr and to search for it. How about inshallah, if you come to the mosque, you'll see me here inshallah. When Laylatul Qadr comes inshallah, we'll talk about that because that's a long topic. When is it? How should you look for it? We'll talk about it inshallah later on because Aisha now has arrived. One more question and we'll go to Aisha. Yes. From a sister? Okay, good.
Woman is not able to pray fast during the fasting days. What do you recommend?
If a woman is not able to fast or pray in the last 10 days of Ramadan, that's it. Her intention was there. She still gets the reward as if she prayed and fasted. And all she does is make up the days that she couldn't fast and does not have to make up the salat. Otherwise, do everything else. Recite Quran by heart. Make dhikr. Make dua. Do good deeds. Give in charity. Teach your children. Be good in your home. Be good to your parents, your neighbors, your friends. Do all acts of goodness. All of that still continues.
Maybe sisters.
Yeah.
If someone take medicine,
Yeah.
how to have monthly survey.
Oh, brother is asking for sisters. Some sisters like to be extra religious, so they take a pill to prevent their menstrual cycle during Ramadan. Allah ya akhi, look, is it better or not? I can't say better or not. I don't know. But what I do know is that look at the harm versus the benefit. Ask a doctor and say, okay, is there any harm that this pill can bring me? What kind of harm can come to me? If there is any harm in it, it's better not to take it and to break your fast and take Allah's concession. And Allah has fed you and He gave you a concession and gives you the same reward. You know, I personally, I never like people to go out of their way to try and be extra religious. Really. Unless you need to, like if you want to take it for other reasons, to make your life a little bit easier for some reason, that's a different story. But just so that you can fast, just so you can make your worship in your mind better, don't do that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you ease, use the ease, and Allah will give you those rewards and make up other days inshallah. Alright? Jazakumullah khair, my brothers and sisters. Sorry I didn't have enough time for questions. Sallallahu ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.